Good morning, wrestling fans, and good morning, wrestling! You're here on 7/19/17, and you're with the Slew and...
Charles X!
And we're here for Good Morning Wrestling. How you doing, Charles?
Doing well. How are you today? Did you have a good night at work?
Wasn't too bad. Got to finish it off with Smackdown, which, you know, was a pretty good show for it to be heading into a pay-per-view show or whatever you would call it. What's the term you would call it? There is one.
Go home show.
Go home show. That's what it is. Go home, everybody show for Battleground.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too big of a Smackdown, but you know, things happened. They had segments. They had matches. They had.
I felt like
people out there.
I've watched the same Smackdown for a few weeks in a row now, though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah. Probably because you've seen Corbin run out and try and attack Shinsuke like 50 times.
I've seen that. I've seen Styles and Owens fight and tangle so much. I've seen Charlotte and Lynch is new.
That was a nice little change.
That was cool. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Let's start it off. Started it off with the Singh brothers, and then with the Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, coming out to that big old Punjabi prison. How do you feel about that? Think it looked good?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a intimidating looking structure. It is really high up. Like, when Orton was on top of it, he does look really high. If he falls, he could die.
Yeah. I hope they don't use that yellow lighting during the match.
They might.
At first, I didn't know if it was yellow lighting or if it was just the light off of the bamboo. But I'm pretty sure it was just yellow lighting. Like a tint, like Sin Cara style.
That's what it looked like to me, too.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah. Randy gave not a bad promo by any means. He looked sinister climbing up the thing. If anything, he was trapping himself, if you ask me. That was my thought the whole time. But that didn't turn out that way.
I mean, not really. He climbed up just to climb back down. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, once you're up there, Singh brothers, one of those tiny little guys just jumps through one of those squares to the outside. And then you're surrounded. I'm just kidding. I don't think that they could make it. But I was looking at the squares. I was like, how hard would it be for someone to fit? Like, someone like Jinder Mahal, definitely not.
No, you couldn't fit through there.
Maybe one of the Singh brothers, though. It didn't look too small.
You think just the regular small holes?
Like the like the in between the bamboo. It doesn't look too. It doesn't look.
No, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
You'd have to be like a 9-month-old.
Wow.
To get through there, man. That's pretty small holes. No, you could be older than a 9-month-old, but still, I don't think a full-grown man's gonna get through there.
Yeah, but I didn't say a full-grown man. I said one of the Singh brothers.
They're full-grown, man. They're just standing next to Orton and the Maharaja. Two 6'5" monsters.
Yeah. But it was okay. It wasn't a bad segment. That was all that we got from them the whole night, though.
That's all you needed.
Yeah.
They've built their feud enough. Everybody, all these feuds are built up enough, really. They've done a pretty good job at that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's just because, like you said, they've been having the same matches over and over and whatnot.
They burn it into your mind that these people are feuding, so they're like, well, we'll get to all these people later, but guys like Styles and Owens, that shit is just, they have interacted so constantly, just in wrestling-wise, like they actually wrestle everybody.
Yeah.
It's not like they just...
They have good matches.
Yeah, well,
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But that, I mean, it's like, but yeah, over and over, but whatever. I don't know. That's kind of how it's supposed to go, but you should throw some mixtures in there. But really, they didn't do too bad.
Go. Just tag team matches featuring them. I'm just tired of seeing it. It's like 2008 SmackDown again.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't
without Teddy Long. There's just tag matches every week.
Wasn't the best send-off for Battleground.
I'm cool with just seeing Styles versus Corbin with Shinsuke and Owens on commentary. And I know that's a wild thought, having Shinsuke on commentary, but think about that for a second. Instead of just constant tag matches.
Shinsuke on commentary would be odd. Matches. Yeah, you're right, because they don't want him to lose. And they don't want anybody else to lose. They're trying to protect everyone. And it's a little hard to do that. When, you know, I mean, protecting everyone is impossible because someone has to win and someone has to lose.
Yeah.
But then you throw them in all these different mixtures of matches, so then bullshit ensues. But that was that opening segment. Wasn't that great, honestly, for what's coming. They showed us the prison. We've seen it.
The match. That's all they needed to do.
Yeah. And then after that, we had Kofi versus Jimmy Uso, which is a pretty good match. Setting up for that for Battleground as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty personal feud.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's might be a title feud, but it's still personal. Like they've got it. That rap battle really did wonders for the feud.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you think that they just recently? Do you think that they just became the Usos? Just became the longest running SmackDown champions? Or tag teams?
I don't know. I imagine.
I feel like they were waiting for that just so they could have that added to it. You know what I mean? In a way.
Who was? I imagine it was Slater and Rhino before.
Before, yes, yeah, I'd say. But in all of SmackDown history, I don't know. That might not even be true for all SmackDown history. They might just be talking about the reincarnation, essentially.
They're definitely talking about the reincarnation.
Yeah?
They have to be.
Do you know the longest running SmackDown champs?
London and Kendrick had the belts for like a year.
Yeah, I remember that. They did, didn't they?
Yeah, so.
That was pretty good, too. But this match was pretty good. I mean, Kofi doing what he does. The Uso doing some Uso stuff, which was good. I don't know. Kofi did that cool spot where he bounced up on the ropes and then threw himself over, essentially, flipping.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's new, too. I haven't seen him do that before, at least.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that.
Nah. Well, I mean, I'm sure someone's done it.
I'm sure it's been done. Everything's been done. But it seemed pretty innovative. It seemed as though he may have... No, I doubt they thought of it on the spot, but it looked like, that's what you're supposed to be trying to do, is make people think that you're thinking of this shit on the spot. So, that's acting. And it was pretty good. And the finish was...
that should never even be in anyone's mind, the fact that they're acting. That should never... Yeah. That really shouldn't even be coming across. So if it does look like an act, that sucks.
Yeah. Definitely. But, I mean, the problem with that lies in the fact that we know that it's not real and that we're constantly just analyzing everything, which isn't bad.
Yeah. Kids aren't, though.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I was saying. Yeah, he did it well. He acted well.
He's pretty creative. They had a decent match. I enjoyed it.
The Uso won.
Nice seeing a singles match instead of just a tag match with one of them with the Usos leaving,
Yeah, they shouldn't even have tag matches leading up to it because they're just leading up to a tag match, Maybe like a tag match where you add a third person, but then the only other option, I guess, is to drop a person.
Yeah, I think they...
But they can't even add a third person because the New Day has a third person.
I think they could interact feuds a little more.
Yeah.
Like, imagine seeing the Usos fight Styles and Nakamura with Corbin and Owens on commentary.
Yeah.
That could have worked. And then have Corbin and Owens versus New Day. Like, switch it up. Just all these people feuding. We've seen it over and over again. But one thing we hadn't seen before was Sami Zayn and Mike Kanellis.
Yeah,
Mike Kanellis made his debut.
No.
The former Mike Bennett has officially
crossed over.
Undefeated.
Crossover World, yeah, it was successful. I mean,
WWE.
They definitely got they definitely got across what they're doing. I mean, whether the Maria getting in, you see it as a bad thing or not. I mean, that's them. Heel tactic.
He really got worked in the match.
Yeah, he did. He did get worked quite a bit.
As far as looking like he can hang in there on his own, he really got worked.
It was weird. I don't know why he did, because he's a pretty good wrestler, and Sami Zayn isn't normally the person to just go work somebody like that. But in the other way around, he was selling very well, so there's that. I mean, he's a good wrestler. We all know he's a good wrestler, so it was just a bit odd.
He's big in Japan.
Was he?
Yeah. Real big. People love the Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kingdom. I forgot about that. But it was
really
good.
Cool to see him lock horns with other guys, too,
Hell yeah. It's got to be cool to see him.
Styles, Nakamura.
He's fought none of them.
He's a heel, and they're all baby faces, so that's cool. That'll happen sooner than later.
Pretty much anybody you could name, because he's fought no one on the roster that I know of, or at least not in front of my eyes. Maybe like people that were in Japan, like Styles. That's the only person that I can think of that was in Japan that's there. Shinsuke, obviously.
Do you think that him and Maria will ever feud with John and Nikki?
I don't know.
It seems like, as far as what a mixed tag, if they do ever have mixed tags again on the pie.
I don't know. I think that the WrestleMania thing was a thing, but other than that, I think that John and Nikki are pretty much back to just the way that it was before.
Okay. Well,
you know?
Anyway, if they do have mixed tags on high-profile pay-per-views like they did, then I think, obviously, Rusev and Lana and Mike and Maria are like two people who could be set in stone for feuds with Cena.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because Nikki Bella's just not back yet. So, who knows what lies there.
You're right. That could happen. I don't know. I just think it'd be weird.
Doesn't seem like
weird
Rusev
to have.
and Lana are together anymore. So, on TV.
I mean,
we know behind the scenes they are.
They should be backstage together and stuff still. I think that would add a lot to it, as I've said before to you.
They should be what?
Backstage together, like just in segments or whatnot, if they end up anywhere, you know? Just two wrestlers rather than a dude and a chick who doesn't wrestle, you know? That's a nice thing to see, like John Cena and Nikki.
Yeah, but at least they're not just treating her like a valet. I mean, she is hanging out with the women's roster instead of being isolated. So
yeah,
she's interacting with them. So that might be better instead of having her just tagging along with Rusev.
But they could just do both.
Well, I mean, there's not too much airtime for that to happen.
Yeah, I know. I said if they happen to get seen on camera in the back. But yeah.
True.
Understandable. Not everybody gets it all the time, obviously, as we've seen from freaking Rusev not even being on TV for, like, months.
Yeah, but Mike Kanellis got the win with a Death Valley driver.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a bit plain of a finisher.
Yeah, I wish he would have had a little bit more pizzazz there with it. A little something. I feel like that's something they gave him to do. I don't think that's something he was like, I want to do this. Yeah.
I like the simplicity of it, but yet it is a lot like a lot of other things that a lot of other people are doing. So, I don't know. But at the same time, I don't know. He did fine. Perfectly fine. He debuted. He's in there. He's on Smackdown.
Good song, good gear.
They had a promo, I don't know when, afterwards. I don't think that they showed it on SmackDown. And they were fine with the way they won. That was the question. Are you guys fine with the way... Mike, are you fine with the way you won? And he started to answer, and then Maria took the mic. And then she answered.
They don't need to overshadow him so much.
Yeah, but I think it's funny. I definitely like the angle they're going with.
I didn't see what you're talking about, but...
Yeah, I just saw it on the internet somewhere. I don't know. I think it was just YouTube. But he made it. And then the next Gable was interviewed. I don't have a segue for you.
No, you don't need it.
We only have a minute left on this 15-minute first parter. Gable, pretty good interview. He was fine. Talked well. Yeah. It was recorded, so if he messed up, then obviously they could have just gone back, so you can't really tell, like, promo-wise stumbling or anything like that. But either way, it was good.
Yeah. It's everything you could ask for. He's just still he seemed like a nice guy, a likable guy, who's venturing off to go by himself now. I don't think he should be at all playing like a pity party of like, oh, he should have told me. Because, I mean...
No.
That's not...
No.
It's not about Gable.
No.
To be honest.
But it is...
So, he should just venture out, and it's cool that he said that they'll have each other's backs.
Yeah, it's nice to see that he's on TV. Rather than just gone. Because that was an option, I feel like. But, he did well, and we'll see Gable, I guess, again, every week. But we're going to go to part 2. Go find it. Go into it now. Good morning.